I love it. You love it. Weird things happen on college football Friday night games, but here we go. Louisville at Miami. Not Louisville. Louisville. Going to Miami. 13.5 favoring the Canes. Big number, huh? ESPN, again, Friday night. Miami, man, let's lock in here. What I just said. Weird things happen on Friday night in college football. It's almost like a law of nature. Don't believe me? Florida State, overtime against Virginia. Lose that game when we're talking about Florida State and Miami being an undefeated matchup. No. Chandler Morris and company had a different idea in mind. Now, you're thankful if you're Miami. This game is not at Louisville because then it'd be even more weird for you. But you've had now a week to hear about how good Miami is. If you watch this show, if you're a Miami fan or you're a Miami player, you're saying, well, we're number one in JD's poll. That counts for something, right? Wrong. Does nothing for you when you line it up against a Louisville team that is, if nothing else, scrappy. If you're Louisville, isn't this the exact spot you'd want to play Miami in? You're both off a bye. You had a loss in overtime to Virginia, which you probably wish you didn't have, but in some ways you're kind of sneaking up on Miami in this game, no? That's the way it feels to me. Good things said about the Canes for the better part of the last 2 weeks after they beat Florida State. I don't know. Feels like it could be advantageous for the Cards if Miami shows up with their head not on straight. We'll see what happens. Now, here's what I can say. Miami is going to own the line of scrimmage on defense. I watched Virginia get home against Louisville with 3 rushers. Miami will probably bring more than 3, I'd have to imagine, but if they bring 4, Miami's 4 is I don't know how much better than Virginia's 3. Promise you, they're getting to Miller Moss, making his life suck, and there's a reason that number is at 13.5, favoring the Canes. Now, in a weird way, as much as I love what Miami will be up front against Louisville's offensive line, I think the personality for Louisville offensively kind of fits what they need to do. If you haven't watched Miller Moss play college football yet this year, I would strongly encourage you doing that. He is just hilarious. Like, the dude does not give up on a play. He's out there against Virginia being dragged down. He's got his wrist on the ground. He's like just willing the ball forward, and it's a pick six the other way. And you have some of that, but you also have Miller Moss not giving up on a play, creating positive plays for Louisville. It's very feast or famine. You have the Brahms squad, as I like to call them offensively, very creative with how they dial it up. They're running like fake flea flickers for gash plays. You got creative misdirection. They're going to scheme guys open. One guy they will scheme open. One guy they will force feed the football to Baby Gerber style, Chris Bell. The best receiver in college football that I promise you most of the country hasn't heard about. Where's number 0? The last 2 games for Louisville. My guy's stats are 22 receptions, 305 yards, 3 touchdowns. He's going to get his in this game. Now, does he get his to the tune of upsetting Miami? At Miami, I don't know, but I'll tell you what, he is going to get his in this game. He's big, he's physical, he's a matchup nightmare, great hands. He is going to eat in this game. A1 Chris Bell. Make sure you remember that one. I think Louisville will be who they are on defense and try to get after Carson Beck. They're pretty aggressive. Believe they are top 15 in America when it comes to their sack rate. They'll try and heat Carson Beck up a little bit. Live by the sword, die by the sword, though, right? If you're Louisville, like if you don't get home, understand your personnel in the back, and I don't think is good enough to hang with Miami's personnel in the perimeter. I think Malachi Toney will get his if you don't get home to Carson Beck. So you'd like to hope that there's some Friday night magic here. You can confuse them a little bit. But I actually think that Miami's going to use Louisville's aggression on defense against them. Similar theme you've heard across this show when it comes to our breakdowns. Louisville's defense against the run is like top 40 by the numbers, which isn't bad. Definitely not. Like, it's been good for what they've had to do so far this year. But Miami running the football is just a different beast with how you break it down. The numbers say one thing, but when Miami lines it up against you, numbers don't matter. It is big, it is physical, it is on the perimeter. Miami makes you as a football team on the defensive side decide that you are all committed to stopping the run. Not just we got 7 guys that are about it and 4 guys that will participate. Like, you got to be about it, man. Of the formidable opponents Miami has played, that is your 2 Power 4 opponents plus Notre Dame, all 3 of those games, the opposing defense, their leading tackler, has been a defensive back. What does that mean? 2 things. Miami puts the ball on the perimeter and says, okay, safety, I know you want to play in some pass coverage. Good for you. You got to stop the run this game. Are you about that life? We'll find out real quick. Second thing it means that Miami's working up to the second and third level of a defense. Also not great if you're in the secondary. So I think that Louisville's going to be kind of frisky. I think that we see Chris Bell, again, get his and do good numbers. I think Miller Moss kind of cuts it loose in this game, for better or for worse. But I just think Miami has too many gears to win this game. If they got a downshift and just take the air out of the ball, make it lower scoring, keep the ball away from Miller Moss. I think they can do that. If they got to ratchet up and go ahead and score 30-plus in this game, I think they can do that as well. I think Miami scores exactly 30. I think they win. I don't think that if it stays at 13.5, they actually cover. I like that being a very bad beat sort of looking thing. I'll take Miami to win. I'll take Louisville to cover. Final score, Miami 30, Louisville 17. So if we're walking the line there, that line's 13.5 favoring the Canes. I think they win by 13 exactly. So Miami controls the game. I think they are somewhat dominant, but maybe a little bit of backdoor magic there for the Cards, and they end up covering that number. It's Friday night. Anything happens. It's college football.